Art is indeed a paradox. It is a word in which everybody knows and yet nobody is capable of defining. So in this video, let me guide you through the world of arts. So, what is art? So there's no universal definition of art since art can be subjective. It is subjective in a sense that people differ in their perspective of an object as something beautiful and meaningful, while others may consider it as maybe ugly and meaningless. So in other words, different authors and writers have defined art in various ways and how they perceive it. So that begs the question, why art is important? So, knowing the various forms of arts like visual or performance arts to indigenous arts help us to create understanding of the world around us. It is an essential part of cultures across the globe since it allows us to be open to new ideas and also experience on the various forms on arts around the world.
Now, let's go to the various forms of arts. The visual arts are those arts that can be perceived with our eyes. The most common visual arts are sculpture, painting, and architecture. Performing arts are arts or skill that require a performance in front of a public audience. Most common performing arts are theater, dance, play, and music.
Now, let's know the elements in visual arts. First is line, used as a visual definition of shapes and plays a vital role in expressing emotion, form, texture, and motion. Next is color, allows us to create our own individuality and flair. Next, texture, adds a sense of physicality to an artwork by creating an illusion of three-dimensional surfaces and shapes that can be seen and felt. Next is perspective, to create a realistic impression of depth, play with perspective to present dramatic or disorienting images. Next is space, to help emphasize objects and their positions. And lastly, the form, used to create illusion of depth and perspective. Elements of art are important mainly because various combinations have different effects on audiences, with artists using elements of arts to display their creativity or send a message through their art.
Now, let's focus on performing arts, music. Here are most popular kind of music. First is classical music, second is country music, third is hip-hop and rock music, and lastly, pop music.
Lastly, let's not forget to appreciate the arts that made here in the Philippines, the indigenous arts. Start from different clothing, from tinala, dagmay skirt, anola skirt, and pishabi, which have a different meaning from different tribes. Next, let's go to music instrument. Let's start with Kujapi of Maguindanao, or Pasing of the Apayaws, Palindong of Muslim, or Diudiwas of Cordillera. Lastly, let's go to indigenous houses. Let's start with Bahay na Bato that made of stone, and Bahay Kubo that made of nipa or kogunhat. Lastly is the Efogal Bale that made without using nail. Amazing, right?
So that is all. Thank you for listening.
Indeed, art is paradox, but we can create our own definition arts. We just need to understand and appreciate the art.
Let's start from different clothing, from anola skirt, dagmay skirt, pishabi, and pishabi. Let's Let's start from different clothing, from tinala,
You see. This is for the bloopers. Kapoy na ko.
So this begs the question, why art is so very important? So knowing the various art forms such as its performance arts to indigenous arts, so that begs the question.